Just hold the sports with a twist, no script. Legends coming through on the guest list. TC, Minnesota, the Netherlands, Food, Green Bay. That's all I gotta say. Coming strong with the wolves, you know we don't play. We get wild every single day. We got our flaws, but we love our saints. Twist name, go to like our page. Twist Nation. Twist Nation. Twist Nation. Twist Nation.
What up?
What's going on?
What up, Twist Nation? Episode 19. Who's that for?
Your boy, Teasy.
Thielen!
Come on.
So we are still ahead on RTF Sports Network, but the third show is creeping up. They finally got a pulse, so we need you. You better push it to the limit. Push that vote to the limit. We need your help.
Every
Daily.
day.
Every single day.
First
Go
thing in the morning.
to rtfsportsnetwork.com. Go to fan vote and obviously vote for your boys. Twist. The week in sports talk.
Yeah.
Just grab friends' devices and vote on their devices.
Vote wherever you can.
Send out a mass email to your work.
Yeah.
Put the website on there. Have them vote. Do what you got to do.
Make it very easy for them,
Yeah, just
people.
Just put the URL on there. Point and click. Grab your friends' computers. Do what you got to do.
Mail in letters to your local Congress.
People you don't know.
Run it.
So we got a great show. We're excited. We got back-to-back phone interviews. We haven't done that in a while, but that should be pretty fun. So the first one, we're going to kick off and give him a call. It is Gus Frerotte.
The Golden Goose.
Who? Golden Gus.
The Golden Goose. Gus Frerotte.
He's a former journeyman football quarterback who was drafted by the Redskins in the 7th round of the 1994 NFL draft. Also played college football at Tulsa.
Yeah.
So good old Gus Ferrotte's going to kick off the show with us. All of our interviews are brought to you by
Bricks
Boatworks, your trusted and local source for marine repair.
Bricks. Hit them up.
Boats.
Yeah,
Boats
you got
and
nothing
boats.
else to do. Get your
Right.
dock in.
Jesus. Easy. Careful.
Hello.
Good morning, Gus. You're live with Twist. How are you?
Good. How's Twist doing today?
Oh, we're loving life. We got Gus Frerotte on. What do you mean? How are you doing through the whole quarantine? What is your agenda today during the quarantine?
Well, during the quarantine, I go into my friend's restaurant and I help him and I run the expo line.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, he had to lay off all of his staff and I go in and help him and to try and keep the restaurant afloat.
What kind of food are we slanging?
Well, he usually is pretty gourmet, but we have done some comfort food, fish sandwiches for Lent, fried chicken sandwiches, cheeseburgers, grilled chicken salad.
Yeah.
So pretty good menu.
I'm a heavier set
During the
individual,
weekend.
Gus, so any kind of food is comfort food for this guy. So we appreciate that. That's awesome, man.
I did see a cool stat that Minnesota right now is actually number 1 in the country for supporting their restaurants, which is awesome.
That's all me, by the way, Gus. It's just me.
Yeah, so we do the same thing. We try to support our local places by, ordering out every now and then. And with all of our kids home from college, we're consuming a lot of food.
Yeah, crazy times we're in right now. So we're happy that you took the time and came on. I know Twist Nation was excited to hear that we got you on as a guest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Gus, I kind of want to get right into your career because you're just a few years older than me. So I got to watch, your career as an adult. And one thing that fascinates me is the number of teams you were fortunate enough to play for in the era you were able to play. So what I kind of want to know is, of all the teams, of all the players you got to play with, who's the one wide receiver that you never got to throw to, but played during your time that you wish you could have just thrown one pass to?
Oh man, I don't know. I think every wide receiver I've ever played with, I got to throw a pass to, and in the NFL, I can't think of any.
So, like wide receivers during the time that you were playing, not necessarily on your team, just studs on different teams. Somebody you didn't get the chance to play with. Who was somebody you really wish wideout wise you got to play with?
Oh, obviously, there's some amazing wide receivers out there that have played the game. You look at Megatron in Detroit. I think he was in, and you look at Marvin Harrison. Everybody that I never got to play with that are the top receivers. I mean, I would have loved to throw to them and played the game with.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. So how about this? Since the draft is coming up, what's the most talented rookie you ever got to play with?
Oh, wow.
Tough ones, I know.
I know that's a really tough one, because I'm trying to think of the whole team, not just guys on offense.
Yeah.
But there's when Ronnie Brown came to Miami as a rookie, he was a very, very good player, and we had he and Ricky Williams as running back.
Whew. Yeah, that would be awesome. That's elite right there. So I'm going to backpedal a little bit, go back to college for you. How was punting in college as a sophomore?
Well, it got me on the field, that's for sure. I had a quarterback in front of me named TJ Rubley, who played in the league for a little bit and was very good. And so I said, okay, I got to do what I can to get on the field, and was able to punt in high school, and came in there, and I wasn't a great punter, but I got the job done.
That's what it's all about. That's awesome.
I feel like that would be my easiest way to, train the young boy. I've always joked about it, get him into kicking and punting, and because that's as easy as a, 5'10", 200 pound, white male. I didn't have a very good chance, with athleticism. So I think I'm going to get the son, on the kicking trend. So.
Well, it's always easy until you screw up, and then everybody sees it.
Oh, we know all about that here with the.
They never
Blair.
let you go. They never let you live it down.
Yeah, we're Vikings fans.
Yeah,
here, so yeah, we
know. Wide left Blair Walsh. I was at that game.
Yeah. Oh man.
So
you guys go back to when you could have went to the Super Bowl. You guys had a kicker who didn't miss one all year.
Yeah. Thanks,
and
Mr.
then,
Anderson.
Poor Gary misses one in the playoffs.
Yeah. I still blame the commentator for bringing it up right before, and just kind of jinxed us. Yeah, we've kind of had that luck throughout.
Doesn't it always seem like that? All of a sudden the commentator's like, oh, he hasn't missed an extra point all year.
Right. They're just doing their job, pointing out the statistics, and then, oh, there he is. Jinxed it. He jinxed it again. Great. Yeah. It's always good.
We have a nice dynamic on the show. Me and Matt here are hardcore Vikings fans, but then we have our other co-host, Green Bay Greg.
Yeah, I'll tell you where I'm from.
Yeah.
I've actually been looking.
That's a good mix.
Yeah, it mixed for.
Well, I'll tell you what. One year when we played in Green Bay, my son wore a Brett Favre jersey under his Frerotte jersey.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
So you were kind of an NFL journeyman, Gus, through all the teams. What's the mindset, you kind of have when the longest team you're on, I think, was, for a couple years, just kind of as that journeyman, whether it's from a financial mindset for your family, or just kind of, from the quarterback side of it?
Yeah, it's hard to get labeled as a journeyman. I look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. He and I are very close friends, and he's been labeled that as well. And so you get some opportunities to go and play, but as soon as mistakes happen or somebody to scapegoat, well, he's a journeyman. He's not going to be around forever. We might as well just get rid of him. And that's kind of how I felt my career was, is that when you're labeled a journeyman, it sticks with you. But also I got to visit a lot of great cities, such as the Twin Cities, and my family's really enjoyed everywhere we live. And financially, it's tough. You got to move. You pay those costs. You got to rent houses. You got to buy a house. And, trying to keep that family together is difficult at times, but in the end, it's all worth it.
Nice. I got a question for you, Gus. I was pulling up my Gus Frerotte YouTube clips this morning, and you hold an NFL record that will never be broken. You've completed a 99-yard pass in November of 2008. It was completed to Bernard Berrien when you were on the Vikings when they were playing the Bears. Was that play designed to go to him? Maybe not for a touchdown, but designed to go to Bernard Berrien after he left the Bears? Because you couldn't have found a guy that was more wide open on that play. You guys smoked them.
Yeah, no, that was a great play. It was a great play call. I just interviewed Wes Welker the other day for my podcast, and we talked about his 99-yarder that Brady threw him when he played for the Patriots. And when I described mine, it was completely different than his. The Bears were playing cover 3, and a lot of times when the corners play cover 3, they'll play in between the seam route and the outside go route. And so Visante Shanko, who was a great receiver for me in 2008, was running down the seam, and I stared him down, and Peanut Tillman kind of played both, and I threw it over his head, and Bernard, being as fast as he was, hit him in stride, and the rest is history.
Yeah, he was shot out of a cannon on that play. He was inspired.
Yeah.
As PA would say, he's loose.
Yeah, he was loose. That's for sure. So what are some things that you got going on now, Gus? What are you working on besides, helping out around the community and things as such?
Well, I do my podcast once a week on radio.com and also on the Sports Circus out in Las Vegas. So I get to interview a lot of people, and I talk to them about how sports has shaped their success in life. So we go back to when they were kids and how they fell in love with sports. Just like you guys, we all have a great story to tell, and it's a lot of fun listening to people talk about themselves when they were growing up. And then I work with a company here in Pittsburgh. It's called the Energy Innovation Center, and I'll be running their new Human Performance Center, where we're trying to get people that are unemployed and heads of households that are unemployed, finding them jobs and really helping them to really redo the resumes, learn how to interview, and learn how to find out about themselves so they can stay at work and not be unemployed.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. That's really cool. So you mentioned having some guests on your podcast. We've been fortunate enough, to get guys like you. We've actually interviewed a few guys. I believe you played with Corey Withrow and Michael Bennett have been on the show.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, both of which were great interviews, and I'm sure we'll have them on down the road as well.
Did Corey send you some coffee?
No, we're still waiting on it.
He talked enough about it.
Yeah.
Talked all about it. Has us just fiending for it.
I think it's great. The Rona that's holding it back. We'll see. It better be.
Right. Yeah, they don't ship coffee in the Corona.
Yeah, no, he's doing good things. He was a great one of our best interviews just from the fun aspect of it. We had a great time talking with him.
He was a lot of fun playing with too.
I got a question for you. So about pro days, right now there obviously a lot of higher ups for NFL teams are talking about, this is so tough of a draft year simply because there's not a lot of pro days, things of that nature. How did you participate in a pro day, and how did it go for you?
That's a great question because I really did not participate in a pro day. After my senior year in football, I moved back to Pittsburgh and I actually interned with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I was working with Dr. Warren Sipp, their strength coach. And when I was at Three Rivers, teams would come in and work me out at the University of Pittsburgh or in Three Rivers Stadium. So I had some quarterback coaches and some head coaches come work me out. And I really didn't have any receivers. I had another guy that was a strength coach who would help me. I'd make them stand in spots and catch footballs. And really all I could do was show people how strong my arm was.
Wow. That's awesome.
See, and that's the thing, you know, about pro days now, even back then to now, it's very overrated in a quarterback aspect simply because you're not pressured. You're just, like you said, showing your arm strength. It has really nothing to do with hitting routes because you have no pressure coming at you. So I think it's more hyped up than it should be.
Well, I think really what a pro day should be about is finding out more about that person. What is he like? How does he work with the other guys that are out there? What is his emotional side? We know what his talent is because we see him play. But what is the full package? And that to me is what the pro day should be about. When he's comfortable, when he's in that setting, and you have people coming to talk to him and meet him, what is he really like? How is he going to contribute to your football team?
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
I like that aspect. You were saying earlier how you're, tight with Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's, really understood as one of the more intelligent quarterbacks around. Is that something that you think, at least I think, that NFL scouts and teams should look at more is from an intellectual standpoint? How well can you break down a defense? How well can you communicate, under pressure? Like you were saying, is that something that you feel as now, your career is behind you, that they should really look at more than just the pure athletic ability?
Oh, there's no doubt. If you can't make the decisions under pressure when it's fourth down or when it's fourth quarter, or you're in the red zone and important decisions have to be made, how do you find out about that person other than seeing them in those situations? So I think that that's a big part of the game. And if you can really understand how that mental side of the game works, and you can understand if that person has that mental quotient that they need to go out and perform in those stressful situations, then you found a real winner.
We had Tanner Morgan on the show last week, and I brought that up to him. He has that it factor, where he steps out. Doesn't matter the big team he's playing. He plays, Tanner Morgan, Golden Gopher football every single game, and I really, really see that in him. So that's important.
Well, yeah, and I talked to Wes. Wes Welker's 5'8" 3/4", 5'9". Nobody gave him a chance. He was Oklahoma High School Player of the Year. He goes to Texas Tech, breaks records, doesn't get drafted, walks on with the San Diego Chargers, and then goes on to have a prolific wide receiver career in the NFL because it was about his character, his hard work, his work ethic, his heart, and those things cannot be taught or replaced.
Totally agree. Well, I'm good. I mean, that was a great. I like what you had to say. It's nice to know. One more time, what is your podcast and where can our viewers get it? Check that out.
Yeah, so my podcast is called Huddle Up with Gus, and they can find it on radio.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Excellent. Well, we greatly appreciate you coming through today, Gus. It was an honor for us, and you are a part of the Twist family now. So hopefully we can have you on again in the future when we get some sports back on the screens, and we hope that you stay well.
Yeah, go Vikings. I love Skull Nation and not so much Packer Nation, but I like the Vikings a lot more.
Well, we appreciate that on this side of the table. And
I watched Super Bowl 45 again last night, and I'm okay for a while.
Greg, stop talking. He basically said he hates
talking
you.
Right now.
He basically just said he hates you, Greg, okay? Thanks, Gus.
Gus. I didn't say that, Greg.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Gus. Have a good one, man.
You too. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem. All right.
That's fantastic. Gus Frerotte hates Greg.
It's a beautiful thing. We
That's
might as
why
well
he
get
doesn't-
shirts made now.
Welcome to the family. We all hate you, Greg.
That's
Appreciate
why
it.
he doesn't follow me on Twitter.
Yeah.
He follows you guys. He follows Cardboard Doge, but he doesn't follow me
Yep.
because he hates me.
Bleeds purple.
Yeah, he
Just
saw
bleeds
GBG twist. Like, what
Who
is
is this
that
guy?
all about?
I'll get Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers to follow me.
Oh, Brett Favre will follow us too. He's a Viking, man.
Yep.
He's in our Hall of Fame.
That's
all right.
fantastic.
That was awesome. New one.
Next.
Yeah, it's Mark.
Mad Dog, you're on Twist Live. How you
What's
doing?
up, Mad Dog?
Good. How are you?
We're pumped up to have you on, man. We got the dogs barking over
Yeah,
here.
you hear the dogs?
I do hear the dogs.
Yeah, we just hung up with Gus and had a nice interview with him, and we figured we'd give you a call. Twist Nation, we got Mark Mancini on. He's a XM radio host on ESPN Baltimore and does podcasts as well. So we're happy to have you join the show.
Well, it's a pleasure. You know, I'm out here in Los Angeles, kind of a lockdown. I'm warming up in the bullpen, ready to come in close to 95-mile-an-hour curveball base, guys.
That's what we get. It's called the Benz Bender because my last name is Benz. So that's what they said it was in high school. At least that's what I told people. So that's good.
Yeah, I saw yesterday they had the Major League Baseball realignment. I'm a big Pittsburgh boy, Pittsburgh Pirates win. A realignment thing and put the Pirates in a division with the Yankees, Phillies, and Blue Jays. I definitely know I don't have a shot, even though I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
So they are talking, Major League Baseball all playing in Arizona this year, kind of all huddled up together. What do you think if that'll happen, or would that even work?
Well, the thing with it, 4.5 months away from your family. Let's lay this scenario down, guys. And first of all, I'm on the best sports show sweeping the nation this morning. Mike Trout is a newlywed. So let's look at this scenario. If 4.5 months these guys are away from their family and this guy's wife, God forbid, contacts this thing 3,000 miles away while he's in Arizona, he's going to bail out and say, God, I don't care if we're 2 games ahead of the Astros. I'm getting the hell out of here and going back to my wife.
Yeah, no doubt.
I like how you put it like that. I think average Joe fan doesn't think about it from a family aspect. You're sequestered from them for 4.5 months, and that would be tough. I mean, it's one thing when you're on the road and you're doing that, but you still get to come home and see the family and have your home games as well. So,
yeah, and when I look at the Los Angeles Dodgers, they're talking about social distancing in Los Angeles. Hell, they've been doing social distancing since 1988. These guys haven't won in 3 decades. And, if you look at the definition of insanity, guys, you see a picture of the Los Angeles Dodgers logo. They keep coming by with the same cast of characters. They don't get the job done. The Astros stop them. The Red Sox stop. Now coronavirus might stop them.
Yeah, it definitely is an interesting concept. I know, a lot of the guys, after they brought up that whole Arizona thing, kind of like a grapefruit league type stuff, they talked about that's just one of the ideas that they're kind of spitballing, trying to figure it out. I don't know. I mean, sports as a whole right now, it's a lot of open-ended questions like, what are you going to do next? It's good that they're just brainstorming. That's the best thing. That's the most optimistic sign I can see currently. So,
well, covering the Clippers out here on a regular basis in the Los Angeles Kings in hockey, I don't know what's going on with the NBA or the NHL. The NHL is looking at, events where they can play these games, finish the regular season, Stanley Cup in like South Dakota or Manchester, New Hampshire. I just shut the season down and keep the Washington Capitals from beating the Pittsburgh Penguins in the playoffs. So if that happens, I'll be okay. And as far as the Clippers, they're the big loser because between them and the Milwaukee Bucks, they had great years. I thought they were going to face off for the NBA
championship. Now with this thing, I think the season could come to an abrupt end.
We got Green Bay Greg over here wearing his Bucks t-shirt. I just spit out a little coffee. Disgusting.
Fear the deer, man.
Fear the deer.
So I want to get your opinion on this, Mark. So even if we do, we're in a fantasy basketball league together, and even if the NBA regular season comes back, I think it's going to be tough from a fantasy point. Now, we're in a 2-division league, but my overall record is better than anybody else's in the league. So basically, let's say NBA stops today, I should be crowned champ, correct?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm a Pittsburgh boy. We didn't have a basketball team. It was an ABA team called the Pittsburgh Condors, but I always grew up loving the Milwaukee Bucks with Jabbar, Danridge, and then Moncrief and all those guys. Yeah, it's a big screw job in Milwaukee not having the Bucks take this championship. They should be crowned the NBA champions.
Damn
give
right.
it to Giannis, give it to Middleton, give it to Lopez brothers. Yeah, the Bucks deserve it.
Damn right.
This ended up being a very
This is a great
not
interview.
hometown interview.
This is a great
you got
interview.
2 guys from Minnesota, and then you got the one guy from Wisconsin. He's loving you. You got a new number 1 fan.
Yeah.
So that's
I
great.
love this show, man. This is, I'm telling you, turn off all the news across the country. Put coronavirus to sleep. This show, the Minnesota Sports Network, the Twin Cities Network, is sweeping the nation. I am glad to be a part of it. I want to get in here every week.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
We love it.
We love it, Mad Dog.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad that we could catch up with you. It's awesome, and we definitely will have you on in the future because your energy is just electric. So we just hope you stay well, and we will definitely talk to you soon, okay?
I love you, brothers. God bless you. Have a wonderful one, and you guys are big in my heart out here in Los Angeles.
Thank you,
Thanks a
brother.
lot,
We
buddy.
Thanks,
appreciate
Mark.
it.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Beautiful. That's a good way to start off 2 interviews.
Oh.
That guy is pumped up. Dog! Love it.
Let's kick it off.
All right, here we go. Some headlines for you this week. Let's get into it. So XFL suspends operation, lays off employees, and has no plans for the 2021 season. The XFL suspended operations Friday morning and laid off nearly all of its staff, multiple sources told ESPN. While a handful of executives remain employed, the league currently has no plans, like I stated, for 2021. So that's a tough drop in the bucket, huh?
Yeah, ouch, whatever.
Whatever, on to the next one. How about this? 4-star Arizona defensive back Steven Ortiz commits to the Gophers. He grabbed an oar. He's coming. So we got a 4-star recruit. That's one of the highest.
He's rolling.
Defensive. Let's go. That's one of the highest defensive recruits we've had in a long time. So there's that. Gophers men's basketball loses starting guard Peyton Willis, gains Western Michigan transfer Brandon Johnson, who is from Western Michigan. Beast, 6'8", we'll take it. So there's that. How about KG in the headlines? Not only is he going to be an HOF now, which is awesome, but he also says that Timberwolves owner Glenn Taylor is a snake MFer.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah. He says, and I quote, "I'll always have a special place for the city of Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota in my heart. But I don't do business with snakes. I don't do business with snake MFers. I try not to do business with openly snakes or people who are snake-like."
That's
hardcore. That's like one of the guys you definitely don't want to meet.
Well, reel it back in because we'll be talking about it later.
That's good. Number 5. I even threw a Wisconsin headline in there.
Oh,
for you.
God.
What? The University of Wisconsin will not grant its current spring sports seniors another year of eligibility.
good.
This is great. Of course, right? Wisconsin, right? They have the option to grant another year of eligibility based on your school and what you want to do with those scholarships. And Wisconsin's like, Nah.
Do you know why they're not?
Thanks for stopping.
Because they don't want to give them another year to get drunk like the Scotties they are.
They can't afford it. The liquor stores are out.
Milwaukee's best can't produce that much beer.
It's not happening. Man. So don't go to that side of the border. Come on over. We'll take you. We'll keep you.
We'll treat
you like family.
We got Sunday booze open now. We'll help you out.
That's the hot headlines for the week. On to the next.
Nice. Oh, that's good. That made my day.
Yeah, typical.
Oh, typical Scotties.
Let's learn. Teach me something.
You ready to get learned?
Mm-hmm. Always. Boom.
All right, RTF Sports Network. Get those thumbs out. You better start voting for us. I'm gonna check during the show, and if it's not moving up, I'm just gonna end the live stream. That way, we're not gonna have enough time when we are on Mondays on RTF Sports Network.
Well, so far so good. It is going up.
I think
there's been about 22 votes since.
Smash it.
Yeah, you got to smash hard because even though the
Keep
votes
going.
are going up, the percentage isn't
Keep going.
going. Let's get learned.
Learn it. Teach them.
It's April 11th. Today in history, 1900, the first modern submarine designed and built by John Philip Holland is purchased by the U.S. Navy. 1907, New York Giant Roger Bresnahan becomes the first catcher to wear shin guards. Wow.
Interesting.
1912, RMS Titanic leaves Queenstown, Ireland for New York. We all know that.
I wonder what happened to that.
1917. This is an interesting one. Babe Ruth beats the New York Yankees, pitching a 3-hit 10-3 win for the Red Sox.
The Bambino.
Yeah, the great Bambino. Pitching, too. 1924. The first men's college swimming championship begins. That was the same year Greg started shaving his legs, getting ready for varsity.
Think he didn't?
1941.
Still shave my legs.
Jewish weekly newspaper taking control by them damn Nazis. 1965. 40 tornadoes strike as U.S. Midwest, killing 272 and injuring 5,000.
Yikes.
40 tornadoes. That was a rough year in 65. Holy moly. We got a few here in 1966 to kick it off. Good old Frank Sinatra records Strangers in the Night, the single for his album of the same name. Later reaches number 1 on the Billboard charts.
Crushing the charts.
Also in 1966, 30th U.S. Masters Tournament, Jack Nicklaus becomes the first back-to-back champ, winning an 18-hole Monday playoff with Tony Jacobs and Gay Brewer. Also in 1966, Emmett Ashford becomes the first African-American Major League umpire. All right, Emmett. 1968, U.S. President LBJ signs the 1968 Civil Rights Act.
LeBron James?
LBJ.
Lyndon Johnson.
Did you vote for him, Greg?
Tomato.
I still think it's funny that you do the history stuff and I actually have a bachelor's degree in history, but keep going.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Greg, did you vote for him?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
What
Wow.
about Nixon?
Communist.
1970, Apollo 13, not the movie, the real thing, launched to the moon. Unable to land, they returned 6 days later.
Swerve.
Also in 1970, the Beatles, Let It Be, single goes number 1 and stays number
Let
1.
it be.
Let it be.
Let it be.
Let it be. Do we sing that right, Greg?
That was pretty odd.
Pretty good, pretty on point.
Sign.
Yeah, I mean,
Stayed number 1 for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I still remember that.
1975, Hank the Tank Aaron
Was that his nickname?
returns as a Milwaukee player. Poor
Hammer
guy.
Hank.
Poor guy.
The only player in Major League Baseball whose number is retired by 2 different teams other than Jackie Robinson.
In 2012, The Avengers, directed by Joss Whedon and starring Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, and Jeremy Renner, premieres in Los Angeles. There you go. Just got a little learned today, fellas.
Nice. No birthdays today?
It was beautiful.
Nope. Nobody died. Nobody Nobody lived.
It's one of those weird days in history.
Yeah, I mean, who cares?
Nobody's coming in, nobody's going out. It's all right.
The time everybody's been waiting for.
The Rants. Games?
We got a game.
Oh, we're playing. God, these stress me out so much. I get the pregame jitters. I'm not clutch. All right, go ahead. Is that a new one?
What are we doing?
He's listening to his music right now. He's getting into character.
But I think it's so funny about this. Matt and I don't even know what game we're playing,
No.
much less if we're going to do
This
a game at
wasn't
all.
even in the show prep.
Wasn't in the show prep. Neither was the Mad Dog Mancini. I'm throwing the curveballs today. So we're doing not an original game. Well, it is original. It's not new. It's back to back.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate
Is
this
this that name one?
Okay.
No, it's a name one. So basically the first answer has to flow into the second answer. This isn't sports related either. This is just fun.
Well, at least we know that.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to
Thanks
give
for
us-
giving
There
us the
there is somewhat of a theme.
Oh,
And
okay.
again, you'll get it.
Is it relevant?
So how do you buzz in, GBG?
Matt,
I use your name, so I would say
No, you don't use my name.
I would say Greg.
Okay. All right. Question number 1. A place where you go to buy books. And Martin Luther King won this prestigious award.
Greg. Barnes and Nobel Prize.
Matt. No, he got it. Well, I mean, he put an and. but-
Yeah.
Barnes and Nobel Prize. Yeah.
Is it a Nobel Prize or
Nobel
is it
Prize.
there's something
Okay.
something in between. I'm going to give it to
Matt. Barnes and Noble Peace Prize.
Matt gets it.
Oh!
Wow. Greg gave it to him.
Twist.
He needs a head start.
Twist.
Barnes and Noble Peace Prize.
I like that.
Question number 2. A place where you would go to buy your music, and a person who always does everything right and always follows the rules.
Greg. Sam Goody Two Shoes.
Wow. Good job. That's funny because I was actually thinking of Sam Goody the other day, but I couldn't think of the name of it. I was like, what was that?
I know that
store?
just because I've been watching the Goldbergs lately.
That's great. Good for you.
Sam Goody Two Shoes. We got a tie 1-1. That was
Good
a
job.
great answer, Greg.
Yeah, I'm surprised you got that. They
Question-
sell 8-tracks there?
Question number 3. They're out of business. The best place to buy things for cheap and the best outdoor fort. Place to buy things for cheap and a great outdoor fort.
Matt. Dollar Tree Fort. Matt. Dollar Tree House.
Yeah.
I was thinking Goodwill.
I had to rack it. I'm like, what tree? Tree.
Yep.
Tree. And then I was like, oh!
Not Dollar General. That place sucks.
Hey! Sorry, Uncle Pat.
Sorry, Uncle Pat. It's generally a
I don't
dollar.
think he watches
It's
anymore
not
after
even
you
a
ranted
dollar.
about that.
Well, it pissed me off. It still does. It's generally a dollar. It's a scam. Matt goes up 2-1 over Green Bay Greg. Question number 4. A place you go to buy shoes and where players congregate before and
Matt.
after games. Matt.
Foot Locker Room.
Nice.
Wow, Matt.
Nice.
Let's go!
He's coming off an impressive win
Let's
last
go.
week.
Streaking.
Wow.
We're going streaking.
3-1.
Believe it.
You awake back there, CBD
Doge,
Twist?
I'm not throwing any your way today.
Oh. Question number 5. A popular place to shop as a teen for clothes and a road in Shakopee. A popular place to shop as a teen for clothes and a road in Shakopee. Mind you, Matt lives in Shakopee.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I can think of Highway 160.
American Eagle Creek Boulevard. Point
Wow,
Doge.
And notice that we were talking about this earlier, how much I just jinxed it. How I said I'm not giving you any points.
Doge on the board.
So
So we have
a deep one there. Holy cow.
that was good. So Doge on the board, tied GBG. So it's 1-1 to 3 with 3 to go. Question number 6. A big box department store and a former Orlando Magic player who coaches at Memphis.
Matt J.C. Penny Hardaway.
Oh, good one.
Your boy's on fire. Well, that is game, set, match, Benz, but we are still going to finish off the show.
I got to give you
like
credit for that one.
one?
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
All right, question number 7 for fun. So basically now it's between Doge and GBG. You can have a whopping good time at this burger chain and a nickname for a current NBA legend. Greg.
Burger King James.
That's right.
All right. Come on, Doge. Last question. Tie him up. This was a popular store to buy children's fun items and a celebrity and entertainment-based magazine.
Matt, Toys R Us Weekly.
Oh, nice.
Wow!
Shout out.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Back
Add her
to
the
back,
stack.
Matt.
Stack them up.
How's it feel, Greg?
Just for that, you should go vote for Twist.
Yeah,
Come on.
RTFSportsNetwork.com, show of the month, Twist.
And if you've already voted and you're watching right now, share this. Why haven't you already
And
shared
grab
it?
someone else's phone
Share
and
this
vote on
live
theirs.
video so your family can join our family and we can celebrate.
Social
It's almost
distancing does not
Easter.
apply. Grab someone
go.
else's phone, vote on theirs. By the way, Matt deserved that win. That was impressive.
did. Thank you, Greg.
That was impressive.
No big deal.
Unbelievable. I'm proud of you guys. That was a fun one.
Share it.
All right.
All right. Rant.
Rant.
Sports rant.
God.
All right, who's up first?
I'll go first because mine's not going to be as nearly as ranty as yours. All right. So UFC 249 canceled due to Disney ESPN higher-ups. Why? That's my question. So WrestleMania can go 2 days last weekend, right? And they can make boatloads of cash off of that. But UFC pulls back because Disney and ESPN say, no, don't do it. Why? Because ESPN would rather have their ratings be on a game of horse? Like, you're going to have a games of horse going on, but UFC can't fight. Horse crap. So I just don't agree with it. Like, there's few sports that you actually can play right now, this very minute, and that's one of them. So, gets me a little upset when you start to take away sports that can actually be played right now. With that, I pass.
That actually came from the governor of California, though. They asked him not to. So the governor of California came down and told ESPN, ABC, and, come on, put the dictionary of this, but.
Move it somewhere else then.
Okay,
Greg,
I get it.
Move it somewhere else.
Get off his rant, dude.
Oh my God, I don't care if you have it on the blacktop in Shakopee off of Hiawatha.
Oh, now he knows.
Or
Now he
Eagle
knows
Creek
his Shakopee road names.
Or Eagle Creek Boulevard.
Yeah.
You don't want to go down Eagle Creek. Slippery slope.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
All right, my rant is on every player, every wide receiver in the NFL not named Larry Johnson. Friend of
I clearly explained the circle of trust to you, Greg.
You're out.
A buddy of mine posted a stat, and I looked it up, that in Larry Fitzgerald's career as a wide receiver with
Larry Fitzgerald, not Larry
did I
Johnson.
say Larry Johnson?
You
I
said Larry
apologize.
Johnson.
Sorry, Larry
Yeah,
Fitzgerald.
not the old
Clarify
Charlotte
it for the
Hornets.
fans.
Larry Fitzgerald. He
Okay.
has 29 dropped passes in his career.
Yep.
Wow.
He has 39 tackles.
Right.
That means that a player on his offensive team would have either thrown an interception, fumbled the ball,
Right.
and he showed enough hustle
Right.
to tackle the guy. And he's only dropped 29 catches in his career.
Right.
All these wide receivers out there who, show me the money, they want the attention, Ocho Cinco and all the rest of these guys throughout the past 20, 30 years.
Clowns.
They never
Clowns.
played at Holy Angels Academy.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Plymouth
as that.
boy.
They're not bred from
Holy
Minnesota.
Plymouth boy.
Holy Angels, yeah.
Exactly. No, what I'm saying is that if we have an NFL draft come up where there's going to be like 450 wide receivers taken in the first 6 picks. That's the last number I heard. Bottom line is,
Wisconsin statistics.
if you guys want to follow someone's career, all you wide receivers, Larry Fitzgerald, the guy is the epitome of consistency and hard work and a good teammate. Not any of these other clowns, Antonio Brown, Ocho Cinco, all these other clowns who just want to be, in the spotlight, show me the money. Larry Fitzgerald. That's all I got.
HOF.
Another great rant brought to you by, Gus Frerotte did talk about Wes Welker. Is he a clown? He's the epitome, too. He's a hard worker.
More of a slot, not wide receiver.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting so much for having him on the
Unbelievable.
show. Here we go.
So before I start my rant, you better push that vote to the limit. I will stop this show. Unbelievable.
Let's pull it up right now.
We
How
got
many more votes have we gotten since then? If we haven't gotten any, we might as well just. Four more votes. 4 more.
Our percentage is still the same, though.
That's
so
okay.
There's so many votes that it takes so many to up our percentage.
Correct.
So we're going to start my rant off with a little sound clip to get my blood flowing.
My guys are going to be hurting, especially people on minimums or people that didn't just budget correct, they didn't expect this to happen. Maybe they loaned money or gave money to family. Maybe they're taking care of multiple people, and now it's a work stoppage for us and for a lot of people in America. So I would say out of 450 players, 150 probably living paycheck to paycheck.
150 NBA players.
150, a third of the NBA players are living paycheck to paycheck. Minimum salary in the NBA, I pulled it up earlier, is over $500,000. CJ McCollum has corona coming out of his pores. He's clearly insane. I don't give a shit if you're giving money to Uncle Freddie for his crack addiction. If you're living paycheck to paycheck at $500,000, America is going into a deficit, so the average Joe worker who is actually getting paycheck to paycheck can pay their bills. And we got this moron, CJ McCollum, for the Trailblazers. Pot's obviously legal in Seattle because he's token up a lot. Third, 150 paycheck to paycheck. Woo! You talk about Greg and those clowns. He's a clown. Unbelievable paycheck to paycheck.
Yikes.
You could live off $500,000 if you invested right, maybe for the rest of your life if you lived by your means.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
The thing about that before you hit the buzzer is maybe we should send him a stimulus check.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think they need the $1,200.
Take this $1,200. Maybe that will get you right.
Why don't you file for unemployment?
Fool.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
At least Uncle Kenny's got some crack.
Yep. Feeding his addiction.
Put your hands together for the twist topics of the week.
Greg, what are you laughing at?
Anyone who would watch our show probably must think that all three of us have some huge mental health disorder. Jumping from competitive.
Join the club, America.
From competitive trivia games to yelling at people to.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great show.
Thanks for your input, Greg.
I'm done.
Appreciate it.
Twist topic number 1.
So Benzie mentioned it in his headlines. Good old 2-1 there, 5 for you Boston fans. Came out, and he was not entertained by Glenn Taylor. He thought Glenn was a straight-up person, straight-up businessman, and then Flip died, and everything changed. What was your guys' reaction on Garnett here this week?
I love it. I wish there was actually a cause and effect to what he said, but there won't be because Glenn Taylor would never sell the squad. Which is unfortunate. I think at this point in his life, it's definitely something he could, look into. That's the big thing is just like, I feel like we do need a new upper deck management of this squad because they continue to do the same stuff.
I've always liked KG in the same way that Mike kind of has this affinity for LeBron James because they're the same age. KG's the same age as me, along with Peyton Manning and Tiger Woods. But so it's like I'm followed their careers along. I've always liked KG because of his hard work and because of how loyal he is. He was loyal to Flip Saunders.
Oh, sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
No, you're going great. What this really boils down to is KG's relationship with Flip Saunders,
right?
And how Flip wasn't treated well,
right?
And then Flip obviously ends up passing away, and that whole scenario wasn't handled the way that KG wanted it, and he's expressing it now. Good for him.
Yep.
The trouble with is KG lost a lot of money with his investments. I don't know what he's worth, but he wouldn't be an overall owner of a team anyway. And I found this interesting. He came out and said, if I have a dream, I would say that I would love to be able to go and buy the Seattle Supersonics and reactivate the Seattle Northwest and get NBA loving back into that area. Now he's jumping ship to Seattle. Like, I get it. I'd like to see the Supersonics come back too, but now that's his dream. Right. Glenn Taylor pissed him off that much that he's out of here. Not even Boston, not even Minnesota. He's going to join, CJ McCollum and smoking a blunt in Seattle.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Uncle Kenny.
Twist topic number 2.
So is Bill O'Brien finally pulling his head out of his ass, or is this just another asinine decision by bringing Brandon Cooks over for a second-round pick?
This is where you start chasing, bad money with worse money. He caught so much grief over the past 2 weeks that now he's like, okay, let me save face. So now you're going to take a guy who we were talking about this earlier in the week. He is one walk into a door away from retiring from football because of all the concussions he had.
Yep.
And, and now Bill O'Brien's like, you know what, let's bring this guy in because he was on a prolific offense for the past 5 years. Dude, how about you get someone who's going to be healthy for the next 5 years? Brandon Cooks may never play again because of concussions.
But he roamed fast.
But that's the thing. You think about it. Brandon Cooks played for what? He played for Belichick. He played for Sean Payton, right?
Yeah.
Both of those coaches got rid of you. Like, those coaches are like this with their wideouts. Like, if you're a guy that fits into their scheme, we're going to hold you down. And they've gotten rid of him. He hops around like Frogger. And like you said, dude, he's such a liability. But that's the thing. It's just like, that's why O'Brien is not a GM. These types of moves. It's like, what are you doing? But not only that, flip it over and look at the Rams now. Like, the Rams are paying Gurley and Cooks how much? I think it was like $20+ million in dead cap.
Yeah. Did you hear what Gurley put a tweet out earlier this week and said something like,
past due.
Where's
my cash?
And then Clay Matthews retweeted it and said, yeah, I want mine too with interest.
Right.
So the Rams are like throwing all this money. They owe people.
They love shiny things. Yeah. They love shiny things and they overpay way too early. And that's one of the things that teams are learning from. It's like, okay, we're the Rams, so we're going to go grab all these superstars, right? And we're going to put them on our squad. Well, then when it comes to getting rid of them, they're past due. It's like a car rolling it off the lot. You're going to pay sticker price, and that price goes down 30% when you exit the lot. That's how all these guys are going. You're eating dead space. Sucks to suck.
It's all the glitz and glam of LA. They feel like they just need to have those players to bring them in. But Bill is just, I don't think he should probably get a job after he gets
But that's
canned.
the thing, like coaching wise, he's okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty good coach.
But when you mix and match like this, it's just like,
maybe KG should go buy the Houston Texans because the ownership there is straight trash, homie.
Believe it.
Unbelievable.
Good stuff.
Twist topic number 3.
Yeah.
Numero tres. So we're going to stay in that big trash heap. The biggest trade in the NFL this offseason, Bill Dummy O'Brien sending DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona, has yet to be finalized because of Coronagate.
Yeah.
Will this deal get done?
Cliff Kingsbury told reporters there is no concern. Those physicals aren't official as far as I know at this point, but we'll get it done. There's obviously the medical field and personnel have much bigger fish to fry at this point. It's been slower than it would normally have been, but I have no doubts that it will be done before the draft.
Cliff's a good-looking guy. You think
Cliff's sharp on
his feet? You think he's the best-looking guy in the NFL?
He's probably crapping bricks right now trying to get this done. Like, dude, we need you. They know they messed up. If they could kind of
I bet you he's got a fresh fade.
Oh, he's got a barber. He's got it down in his dungeon. You think he don't?
The king.
No, yeah, when he was a college coach, they were comparing him to Ryan Gosling.
Kind of like you compare yourself to Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, excuse me.
Here we go.
No, I think that right now that with a player getting traded is the least priority. First of all, obviously, it's the important stuff going on with Corona when it comes to the medical. And then you have all of these NFL players or rookies for the draft coming up, Tua being the most talked about one, that don't still need all of their medical stuff done. So when you start talking about a player who's been in the league, who's just getting traded, and they're just waiting for, I think they're more than happy to just wait on it. I don't think this is a big deal at all. I think they want to make it a big deal because they want the deal to fall through.
Sure.
But I don't think it's a big deal.
It ain't falling through.
No, it ain't going to fall through.
Good.
Twist topic number 4.
So we talked to Mad Dog a little bit about this. The MLB discussing a plan that would have all 30 teams together in Arizona to play the season in empty stadiums. Is this better than nothing?
Of course. Any sports is better than no sports. That's my decision on it. I mean, I still think it's not fair to the players and therefore it won't happen. But like I said before, keep brainstorming, figure it out, buy an island, put a baseball field on it. What's that quote? If you build it,
they will come.
Amen.
So before Matt
Field of Dreams, Mike.
You got to say your name first. Sorry. And it's what is Field of Dreams?
This ain't Jeopardy.
Before this morning, I was watching the 4-letter before Matt called me, and they were actually talking about this, all these scenarios. And the idea right now is come up with any idea possible, no matter how stupid and crazy it sounds, because from that, you're going to come up with something that might work. Where this idea actually came from to play in Arizona was the Japan season is going to be ending soon. Mm-hmm. So the original idea was, let's just send all the Major League Baseball teams to Japan and play the games there. Well, they thought, no way, that's never going to happen. Or they would play like the Major League Baseball games during the day and the Japanese games at night.
Right.
But that's where this idea came from. So what they're saying right now is throw any idea out there, and from that, we might come up with an idea that might work.
They're playing sports in Japan? Where's the Corona?
Taiwan Baseball League is just starting back up with no fans, so they're kind of the guinea pig right now.
Okay.
So we'll go off of that, but it's good that sports are starting back up.
Yeah, because we can start betting again.
Yeah, we need our bets back up here, people.
There's a horse race tomorrow, I think.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course you didn't bring it up, so we couldn't bet because I'm winning right now, too. Where's my belt?
Twist topic number 5.
Run it.
Adam Silver said no decisions will be made until at least May. Will we have an NBA season?
A Players Association memo to players and their agents sent out Thursday night indicated more time may be given to evaluate whether the season will resume. The Post has reported that even if the regular season goes on, it would be likely just be a minuscule 5 to 7 game schedule with a shortened one-site 16-team playoff turn.
I think that when Adam Silver said no decisions till May, what he was, if you read between the lines, what he actually said was, leave me alone. Stop asking me every day. When I know something, I'm going to tell you.
Heavy lies the crown.
Yeah. So, I think that they're in the same boat. They're just, they gotta move faster. They're looking at any option. And right now, if he says May, what he's really saying is for the next couple of weeks, just let me figure this crap out.
You know what else he said? Go to RTF Sports Network right now.
Smash it.
Vote for Twist.
Unbelievable.
Run it.
Twist Nation, let's go. So I don't have a sound clip, but we do have 2 more Twist topics.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Number 6. Matt already kind of hinted at this earlier, and I know he wants to get into it a little bit.
Yeah, I do.
Is the pro day overrated?
unless NFL quarterbacks especially start playing their NFL games using their wide receivers from college with no defenders and shorts and a t-shirt, yes, it's extremely overrated. This is organized. This is like a choreographed dance. They design the plays, they design the routes with the players that they've been throwing to with no defense. I want to know what this guy can do when a defender's on his guy.
Sure.
How can you thread the needle?
Right. And that's the thing about it. This is something that I learned this morning. I was listening to Cowherd, and he had a guy on that was talking about pro days. And the big thing was the quarterback is the only position that they get to choose what drills they do. When it comes to wideouts, linemen, things like that, they'll group those guys together, and they'll have scouts from different teams come in and tell them on the spot, oh, this is the drill you're going to do. They have no knowledge of these drills, but quarterbacks are the only ones. I mean, remember last year, Kyler was doing his pro day, and they had, of course, on ESPN, and it's like, dude's sitting there in shorts and a T-shirt. Maybe if he wasn't wearing a T-shirt, and he's slinging the ball, basically throwing it as far as he can. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, but what does this tell you? Now, Gus brought up earlier how he wanted, a pro day because simply you get to learn about how that person is. You get to be well, I get that, but also you can do that over Zoom or any other thing. You can meet with the guy beforehand when he's comfortable and ask him questions, see if he fits your scheme. So pro day is bogus. Combine's bogus. It's just one more thing about pro day is this. You got a bunch of different teams there, right? You can't make the decision for yourself on a guy. If you see the Patriots guy sitting next to you and he's humming and hawing like, ooh, this guy's got it, and the next guy's agreeing with him, you're going to agree and you're going to change your mind based on what those guys are saying and not from you just sitting in a desk watching tape.
Yeah, bricks,
boatworks, boats and hoes.
Twist topic number 7.
Lucky number 11.
So Drew Brees recently came out and signed with NBC Sports over ESPN. Is this unprecedented? I mean, I don't ever remember a player who's actually still slinging the rock signing a TV deal.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because you hear about it all the time. Oh, this guy would be good in the booth. This guy would be good in the booth. But to actually have a guy sign, I don't know. I like the idea. And I think that right now, it's the only downside of it is come weeks 11, 12, 13 in this season upcoming, assuming we're going to have a normal season, he's going to get asked that question a lot, especially if he has a down game. It's going to be, hey, are you looking forward to the booth? And he doesn't need that. I don't know why he did it other than just, I don't know, maybe he just wants to, maybe Peyton Manning asked him to do it so people get off his back.
But that's just how he is. You can tell with his decision to play one more season. He's not an impulsive guy. So he signs the dotted line, has his plan already set on the shelf, and now he knows he can go do the whole D-Wade tour this year, and he can trade jerseys with his favorite guys on each team after the games, so he can have that celebratory season. That's just what it is. So good for him. Sucks ESPN couldn't get him so they could fire Booger, but
they better fire him anyway. Well, thanks for tuning in to another great episode of Twist, the weekend sports talk. Make sure to go to RTF Sports Network, vote for your favorite show, us, and we'll see you next week for episode 20.